The two projects we're going to highlight today are the growing exports in the summer fruit industry and the horticulture industry network. Two key projects in the horticulture services branch, and two projects that really exemplify how the branch is going to grow over the next couple of years and where we're going to invest most of our ongoing resources in delivering similar projects to achieve maximum outcomes for FSV.
The project aimed to show the summer fruit industry that there are good opportunities in Asia. In 2006, the summer fruit industry was growing quite strongly, but the loss of the Taiwanese market meant that the industry needed to look aggressively at a diversified range of markets, and this was one way of looking at another range of opportunities. There were 5 partners in the project. There was Dpi Victoria, there was Dpi, which is the Queensland equivalent of Dpi. There was the company, who was Montague's, the stone fruit producer and exporter, and of course in the market our main partner was Top Supermarket in Thailand. The project aims are to connect the supply base in Victoria with important customers in Asia. DPI's got a fundamental role because that in-between phase is not always well addressed by the export industry. So growers and exporters don't always meet key strategic customers in Asia, and likewise key strategic customers in Asia don't always get the opportunity to meet companies that we want to try and promote, companies and industries that we want to promote. So we've got a fundamental role in there. Partnerships are very important because there is a role of government here where overseas customers are very confident to work with government, not necessarily work directly with industry. And these partnerships, at the end of the day, supply chains are going to be based on partnerships. They're based on sophisticated relationships, and there's a very strong role there for a broker in there to manage these relationships and make sure both ends of the supply chain are well informed about what's happening. We won't compete with Chile and South Africa based on volume and price. We will definitely successfully compete if we can carve out niche markets, and they're not small markets but they're niche, based on Victoria's key capabilities, based on quality, size, seasonality, and most important, the relationships they have with their customers.
So whoever is involved in providing services to horticulture, DPI want to partner with those organisations to make sure DPI is maximising the effectiveness of its programs and getting return on investment that is demanded by the people of Victoria.
Development of the IDO network would not have been possible without the initiative of the Department of Primary Industries. It's a very simple equation. Most industries can fund part of the work that needs to be done, but not all of it, and DPI has filled the breach with the HIN initiative. For the apple and pear industry, which is facing for the first time the advent of imports, has had to look at itself and modernise. They've really needed to improve productivity, and the resources available through the HIN mean that they can do this. It's been an interesting concept, the HIN, Horticultural Industry Network. The word network's very important because for the apple and pear industry we've been able to put on a very competent industry development manager who interfaces with many other industry development officers, and they spread their expertise across all of horticulture. The funding for these positions comes from 2 sources, government and private industry. And together the co-investment is a mutually agreed outcome that allows us to deliver to growers and industry. You can do many things with projects, but unless you are out there on farm, talking to farmers, finding out their needs, bringing new technologies to them and helping them to improve their business, it's really not worthwhile doing. But the HIN network has allowed that to happen. For instance, orchards are now moving from a traditional orchard of about 1,000 trees per hectare to modern orchards of about 4,000 trees per hectare. We know how to grow smaller trees that grow the same amount of fruit. That optimising of production means that the apple and pear industry will survive whatever comes to it, but it should be able to flourish even in the face of imports and adverse climate conditions. There's no free ride in horticulture in Australia, and the only way to improve is to continuously improve, and resources such as provided through the HIN network are absolutely essential.
Well, these two projects really highlight how FSV Horticulture is using partnerships as a key approach in its service delivery, aligned with the government's strategy of developing closer working relationships with people on the ground. These two projects are really standout items to really show how FSV has embraced this and is going to use it more in the future.